Hello and welcome to our admissions applications webinar. We are so happy to have you guys with us tonight. What we're going to do tonight is just walk you through the application process. So really just what our online application is, what it's all about, just kind of tips to walk you through that. As we do tonight, we do have the Q&A and the chat feature. If you have any questions, we will answer those. We'll try to answer them as we go, but we may also just save them all to the end. So please put those questions in there. And if you are watching this as a recording or you think of anything afterwards, please just email info@clhscadets.com. Again, that's info@clhscadets.com, or feel free to give Dawn a call at the high school and she'll be able to answer any of your questions. So I'm Ashley Weehee. I'm the communications manager at Concordia, and I'm going to hand it over to Dawn Schuler, who is our director of admissions and retention.
Thanks, Ashley. And thanks to all of you for tuning in tonight. This is our first webinar on our application. And it's really not that difficult to do, but sometimes it's just kind of nice if you're a visual person to see us go through and kind of give you the step-by-step instructions. We opened up our priority application period yesterday, and that goes through December 17th. And what that means is if you get your application for admission in with the $35 one-time payment for the application and a copy of their most recent report card, which right now would be first quarter, and their 7th grade I Learned scores or most recent standardized test scores, and a copy of their birth certificate. If they have an IEP or 504 plan, we need a copy of that. And with the IEP, a copy of their most recent psychological education evaluation. So that's if you have a student that's getting extra help in a study center or resource room, they would have one of those plans. So that's the documentation that we need to go along with the application. And then if you get all your financial aid and scholarship paperwork in by December 17th, we will be able to give you your financial aid package by mid-February. So you can still apply after the 17th of December. You just might not get your financial aid package as quickly. It might be more like March or April because we use TADS for our tuition scholarship, and they start getting bogged down with a lot of applications once we get past the new year. So right now we're going to go ahead and start the demonstration on the application. It's muted, Ashley.
Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties. Let's start again.
We are going to start our demonstration on how to fill out the application for admission for your student for Concordia. And you will first go to our website at clhscadets.com. And then this will take you to our homepage. But on every single page of our website, you'll be able to see the Apply Now button in the top left-hand corner. So you will click on Apply Now. And then it'll take you to an admissions page where you will click on the Apply Now button again. From this page, you'll be able to create an account. Now, if you already have a student that is at Concordia, already has graduated, then you'll just enter in your username and password that you already have set up. But if you do not have a student and this is your first one, you will go here and create an account. That will give you a username and password that you want to write down somewhere where you can remember it, because that is getting you set up in our system called On Campus, where you'll be able to check your students' grades and homework and all that stuff. So create your account with your username and password. Then they will send you an email back where you'll activate it, and then you'll sign in. So I have created a practice account. Keeps changing. Let me try that again. and then put my password in. You can save your password. I'm not going to do that for now. So my fake son is going to be Christopher Farley, after the great Chris Farley. And I am going to apply with the freshman transfer application. Your only two options are the freshman or transfer student application or international. So we're going to do the freshman transfer and hit OK. And then the first page just tells you all the necessary forms that you'll need to upload later. That would be a copy of birth certificate, most recent report card. So 8th grade, first quarter, if they're applying for 9th grade, and a copy of their 7th grade iLearn scores. Or if the school they're at doesn't do iLearn, you can do the most recent standardized test scores. If you're not sure where to get them from, talk to the school secretary. They can help you out and email them to me or give you a copy. And then if your student is getting extra help in a resource room because they have a 504 or an IEP, please upload a copy of that for us. And if they are receiving help because of an IEP, we'd also like a copy of their latest psychological educational evaluation. If they are not, then don't worry about step 4. So this is what we need for transfer students coming in after first semester of freshman year or 10th through 12th grade. So you just click next. We're going to enter in the student information. This is Mr. Chris. Let me make up a middle name here. Farley. Then you just complete male, date of birth, my address I'll make up. Indiana. Membership, if you're a member of a church, please indicate that. We're going to say that Chris is a member of Holy Cross.
Sorry, everyone, we're having a little technical difficulties, but she's just explaining the different things that you pick up on the screen.
The pastors of our students to our pastors breakfast in the spring. And then you can upload a picture of your student. For any of the questions with the red star here indicate those are ones that are required. So please make sure those are in and completed, or you'll have an error that pops up later. Have you previously applied? No. You can put the student's cell phone in there. Next page will be information about the parents or guardian. I put my name as Dawn Farley. I'm going to be Mrs. Preferred name just means like nickname. So Christopher Farley, his preferred name would be Chris. So that's what I put in for preferred name. So for me, I'm going to be mother. Yes, he lives with me. So then that will populate the fields for address the same. So you don't have to fill that out again. It's just going to load that up for you. So we have the same address, phone number, cell phone, or just put in the same as your home phone if you want to. I'm just going to make something up here. And then gender. I'm going to say that I am divorced, so I can show you how to add another household. Job title, missions. Then I'll say, yes, I'm the custodial parent. I have legal custody. I'm responsible for school-related decisions. I'm responsible for communication. And I'll say, yes, I'm an alumni too. And then I'm not going to put a spouse in. Down here is where I'll add another household to put my ex-husband in, if you have another household. So here I'll put Mr. John Farley. Christopher's father. He does not reside. So then I will put no, because he's with me. So then I'll make up an address for Chris's dad. The general idea to take from this is if parents are divorced or there's another household, you just add a household. And I'm almost done with this section. Since Chris lives with me, I'm going to say no to custodial parent. No, but maybe I still want dad good communication. So it kind of up to the way your custody agreement is. And I'm going to say no, dad's not an alumni. And he's not remarried, so I'm not going to fill any of this out. And I'll just click next. Siblings, you can add siblings in here. We'll say Chris has a brother named Jack. He's also at Holy Cross. Add another sibling if there are more siblings. It's going to put one in. And then on the student interest page, you want to make sure that you mark everything that your student's interested in, because I will run a report in the spring and give a report to each coach to let them know that this is a list of the students that are interested in your program, and they will contact you directly about camps and just different open gyms and activities going on over the summer before your student gets started in the fall. So you just mark everything and then hit next. Previous school information. We already know that our Chris Farley is from Holy Cross. And if your school name's not listed, then you would just type it here for your current school. Last year attended will be 21-22 because your student will start school in fall of 22. Last grade will be 8th grade because he's going into his freshman year. Are you applying for need-based financial aid? We're going to say yeah. It's up to you, but for this example, I'll say yes. Person's responsible for tuition, I'll say is myself. And I'm the mother. You do have to type in this address because it doesn't populate it, since we have other people sometimes responsible for tuition. So all this has to be typed. So once you get this in, then it's going to ask you if the parent graduated from Concordia. And this example, I see that I did. So I would just put my and maybe and the graduation year. The Alumni Association gives a small scholarship of about $125, $150 off your student's freshman year if one of the parents graduated from Concordia. So other financial assistance, are you a member of good standing in the association churches? I'll say yes. and put down Holy Cross. Remember to say no. That out. You want to know if you're a member of one of the associations, because if you are considered a member in good standing, then you would be able to get one of the church scholarships and the church grants. So that's where you would indicate that. Have you ever been recipient of an Indiana School Choice voucher? We'll say yeah. If you're not, then no or unsure. If you're interested, SGO. If you've ever received an SGO scholarship, sometimes you don't know, so you just put unsure. Do you currently have another student who attends CLHS or graduated? I'm going to say no, that I'm the first one, but if I did, I'd put yes. And any other special financial circumstances you want us to know about? Household size, I'm going to say just 2, me and Chris. Has your student ever skipped a grade, been withdrawn or expelled from school? Any other special concerns? I'm going to put no on all these. If your student needs educational support or has a 504, an IEP, you would indicate that here and you can upload it on this page. For all your other documents, you're going to have to wait till I send you an email and 1 business day after you submit your application to upload, but it does let you do the IEP or 504 here. So signature of parent, indicating the handbook, so you can go here and cut and paste this into your browser, and right here, this section, this link, and be able to read our handbook, and just saying that you've read it, and then what t-shirt size your student wears. Say Chris wears, and then affirms they read the handbook, and then the last statement saying that you read through everything, you acknowledge it's all correct, best of your ability, and then you'll put your name in there and hit submit. Now, if you get like an error that pops up like this, just means you have to go back to where you see the exclamation point and see where it's highlighted in red, currently employed. Yes, I don't see anything else in red. So then I can go back to signature, hit submit. And then here you'll be able to go in and pay by credit card your $35 application fee and hit submit. If you don't have a credit card and want to come in and drop off cash or check at the office, you can. And just make sure it's attention Dawn Schuler. And that's how you fill out the application.
Okay. Thank you, Dawn, for that walkthrough. Sorry, everyone, for some technical difficulties, but there really was on screen. That was the explanation. That was the really walkthrough. And if you get stuck, Dawn is always available to be to help you with any part that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. There are no stupid questions, so don't be afraid to call me or email me. And that's what I'm here for, to get you through the process. One thing, if you already do have a student at Concordia or one that has graduated, we mentioned that you could go ahead and log in with your username and password. And I just want to show you what that looks like when you log in. You're going to have your resource screen, and you're just going to go down right there with the plus sign that says apply and begin application. And then you'll just add your other student, and you'll be able to go ahead and fill out the application there. So that's the only thing that's a little different if you already have a student at Concordia or one that's graduated. So you fill out the application, and you'll want to give me 1 business day to be able to process it. And then I will send you an email that says, thank you so much for filling out the application. The next step would be to upload your documentation, which are your the report card, the most recent, and the test scores, and the birth certificate. So what Ashley's going to pull up is what that'll look like when you click the link, it'll give you your checklist. And that's what your checklist will look like. And see where it says that has the upload buttons. You'll be able to click on the upload buttons to be able to upload those documents and select the files from your computer. If you're not able to do that, you can always drop off hard copies at the high school in the main office. Just make sure they're in an envelope that says attention Don Schuler so that I receive them, and then I can go ahead and upload them myself to your admissions checklist page. Or you can email them to me directly. I know sometimes parents have trouble uploading like the iLearn scores because it might be 2 or 3 pages. And when you have a multiple page document, sometimes it only gets the first page. So if you get an email from me that says I'm still missing, the math score, I only received the English score, you can always just email me that one and I can add it. So that's what the checklist looks like. And once I get those documents in, I will be able to get your student accepted within a few weeks or so. I will send you an email notification that says congratulations. We're so excited to have them a part of our cadet family. The next step would be, if you haven't yet, to do your financial aid and scholarships, which you can do as soon as you fill out that application for admission. You don't have to wait until your student's accepted, but that will direct you to make sure you have that done. And then it'll also tell you about freshman scheduling night. That would be the next step, which is usually the last week of February, first week of March, right in there. And we'll send you information on what those nights are going to be. And that's when you'll come in with your 8th grader and they'll schedule their classes for freshman year already. So we have that coming up. Let's see. We do have Concordia Day. That will be on November 12th. It's a Friday. So our students, our 8th grade students from the Lutheran schools, most of them are bringing their 8th grade students over to experience high school for the day and get to have a lot of fun over at Concordia. If your school's not coming and you'd like to come, please come to concordiaday.com and register. It begins, we like to have students there by 8:50 a.m. and then they're done at 12:30 that afternoon. So we definitely would love your student to come to that if possible. Then we follow it up with Discover.
Hold on, Dawn. Before
Yeah?
we move on from that, we had a question related to this. So just to clarify, right? If you're coming with your school, like most of our feeder Lutheran schools, you do not have to register to come that day, correct?
Right. Right.
So,
you don't have to register.
Right. Great. Thank you.
Then we followed up with Discover Concordia Night, which is Wednesday, November 17th at 6:30 sharp. And that's a time for parents to come back in with or without the student. And we'll get to show you a lot of the fun stuff that they saw the week before and answer questions that you have. And we'll have all kinds of information, important information to give you at that time. So that's Discover Concordia Night, November 17th. Also, you can register for that at cometoconcordiaday.com. Did we have any other questions, Ashley?
We did. And just to let you know, we like everyone to register for Discover Concordia Nights. That just helps us with the process. So as you're coming in, if you go online and do it ahead of time, it's just a quick check-in process. You don't have to register ahead of time. It just makes things a little bit faster. So we had a question about the online system. So someone said that they had applied their daughter 8 years ago and it looks a little different. We've made some changes in the last 8 years to the application process, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. It used to be pen and paper, and now definitely is different through on campus. So for those that might be a little intimidated by the online application, you can always schedule an appointment to come in with me and I can help you fill it out too. If it's, and I can go through it quicker sometimes, or, if they need my help.
Great, great.
if one of the parents that's completing the application has graduated from Concordia and you get an error when you're signing in, it might be because they've dumped our alumni um, information into the Blackbaud, the company that we use with on campus. So you have a username already. They just might not know about. So just you can go ahead and not have any errors when you're filling out the application.
Don, you're cutting out a little bit on my end. I don't know if that's for everybody, but just to reiterate what she was saying, if you're an alumni, you probably already have a username and password when it comes to on campus. If you haven't already logged into our alumni portal, our alumni directory, then contact Dawn and she'll be able to give you your login information and you'll be able to get in. That keeps everything together so that you're seeing resources that you need as an alum and also resources that you need as a new parent. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes, but if you have any other questions, please put those in the chat box or the Q&A and we'll be able to see those. Dom, while we're waiting for questions, do you want to talk a little bit more about what they can expect maybe during Discover Concordia Night?
Sure. We will. We say we'd like you to be there sharp at 6:30 because we'll start out and I'll go over some important admissions information, and we'll do a little intro, and then we'll split you up into tour groups, and we'll take you to different stops around the school, and we just try to get started right away so that we're being cognizant of everybody's time, because I know in the evenings, you get off work and it's been a full day. You don't want to be gone all night. So we try to get you out of there by 8 o'clock if we can. But it's a great night, and the students are so excited to get their parents in the building to see some of the things they got to experience at Concordia Day.
We do have a question. So if my other Concordia student graduated 10 years ago, will I need a new login account? I'm not sure about that. That would probably be one where contact Dawn, because she'll be able to look up your accounts exactly and see if you have it in. Everyone is supposed to be in the system, but it's a very large system. So just contacting her just to check, and then we can just make sure that your information's up to date, that we have in there, and get you connected.
I mean, you'll know as soon as you go in and try to set up a username and password. If you get an error, then just give me a call, 483-1102. My direct extension is 298, and I can let you know what that username is.
Okay, great. And again, if you have any follow-up questions, please email us. The easy one is info@clhscadets.com, or give us a call. Oh, we do have another one. It's a question about the congregation scholarship. How do they apply, and is that through their church?
Okay, so we have churches that are a part of our association at Concordia. And if you're a member in good standing at one of the association churches, then they will pay a congregation scholarship of $1,450 toward your admission, or your tuition. So those churches that are a part of our association are Aboit, Ascension, Bethlehem, Concordia, Emmanuel, Downtown, Emmaus, Holy Cross, Mount Calvary, New Life, Peace, Redeemer, St. John in Fort Wayne, St. Michael over on Getz Road, St. Paul's, St. Peter, Suburban Bethlehem, and Zion. So I would suggest that you talk to your pastor or elder or somebody at the church to see what is the definition of a member in good standing there, because each church is a little different. Some might say you need to have a 50% attendance, or you need to go to a meeting or something to get the information. So all you have to do for us is on the application on that question, and then we send a list to each church, usually around July, saying, hey, Holy Cross, this is the list of all the students that we have that have indicated on their application that they are members in good standing, and they tell us which ones that they will pay that scholarship toward.
So again, there's not much that you have to do. You just have to let us know what church that you attend and make sure that you're in good standing with your pastor. So that's a good conversation to have with them. And then that goes on to your financial aid package. We have another question. So with COVID-19, a lot of people did some different plans last year, including homecoming, homeschooling. So the most recent I learned test score is from 6th grade. Is that too long ago?
No, just send us your most recent one. We certainly understand all the crazy circumstances surrounding what's going on in the world right now. So don't stress about that. Don't stress if your student's not a great test taker and you're worried, are they going to get in or not because they didn't pass the English on their iLearn. That's not a decision maker as far as the test scores go. We use that to kind of help us figure out would they be more suited for honors English or just freshman English coming in? And algebra versus honors algebra, honors geometry. We do some placement testing for math, depending on what you're going to schedule. So, yeah, there's no reason to stress out over testing and scores.
We have another question. So this question is asking for the place to see scholarships online. So if you go on our website, clhscadets.com, the one that Dawn demonstrated earlier, and you go under admissions, there's a tab for financial aid and there's a link for scholarships, or just type in clhscadets.com/scholarships. But as Dawn will explain, it really doesn't cover everything. It really is just personal to your situation. Dawn, you want to talk about that?
Sure. I like our admissions guide. If you don't have an admissions guide, call me or email me and I can get one mailed to you. But there's a great page on here that also has all the list of scholarships. And I like to sit down with families and go through and talk about which ones they would qualify for. Now more than ever, Concordia is more affordable for families because of the changes in the Indiana Choice Voucher. That is money coming from the state of Indiana that you can direct toward private education. So where a family of 5 now just has to make less than $172,000 to be able to qualify, before it was around 40-something thousand. So all that changed since April. So I would say over 90% of our families now qualify for the Indiana Choice Voucher, which gives them between $5,000 and $6,000 off their tuition. So, and that's just money from the state alone. Then we have academic scholarships. We have the congregation scholarship that we just talked about. We have a tuition scholarship, which is a need-based scholarship that comes from Concordia Lutheran High School that you can apply for. And then we have a smaller alumni scholarship.
Can you talk a little bit more about the Excel scholarship and the Concordia Scholars?
Sure. The Excel scholarship is an academic scholarship. So in order to, it's super easy to apply for that. So we're already going to have your report card, your most recent for your student, and their most recent test scores. So then we ask for your student to ask any 2 teachers they've ever had to fill out a teacher evaluation form that's on our website. In fact, it's on that scholarship page. If you look over on the right-hand side, there's a link for teacher evaluation. And then underneath the Excel scholarship, there's also a link for teacher evaluation there. So the teacher goes in, most teachers know how to do it because they've done so many of them, and they complete the form, hit send at the bottom, and it goes straight to Debbie Shum, who is our financial aid director. So our Excel scholarship, we award quite a few of those. They go vary between $500 and $1,000 a year. So once you get one your freshman year, you automatically will get it every year as long as your student keeps their GPA up above a 3.0, which is a B average. Then the Concordia Scholar is our top academic scholarship. So for that one, we need the teacher evaluations, but we can use those same 2 teacher evaluations you already submitted for the Excel. And then there's an additional application. So there's a link to that application on our website that the student themselves has to complete. And that's about 9 or 10 questions. And then they hit submit and it goes straight to Debbie. So we have a committee that awards the Concordia scholars. And the way I like to describe it is, say we start with a group of maybe 80 applicants that submit applications for it. So the committee gets together and they whittle it down to the top 20 or so. And then they ask for the first semester grades. Instead of it just being first quarter, they want to see first semester. And then they give you like 3 essay questions to complete. And then once you turn that in, the next round goes down to about 6 to 7 students. And they come in for interviews. And then they're left with the top 3 as the Concordia scholars. They get $2,500 a year, every year, as long as they keep their GPAs above a 3.5. And with those 2 academic scholarships, it's one or the other. You cannot stack those. You can't get both, but you can add those on top of any of our other scholarships.
And deadline for Concordia Scholars is December 17th. That's the only deadline for scholarships. You can apply for other scholarships after that. And then the tuition scholarship, the deadline is May 15th, correct?
Yeah. But I would still say tuition scholarship, don't wait till then, because she keeps awarding the money till it's gone. So it's always better to get things turned in as soon as you can.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. So we thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And we look forward to seeing all of your students as cadets in the fall. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you.